on. So we are ready to get started. Goals need more than a planner. The difference between stuck and paid, it just might be your accountability game. So for real progress, you need someone to check you. So let's talk about accountability partners that boost revenue. This is a conversation that's coming from this week's blog, which is how accountability impacts your revenue. And that blog is located at shaycannon.com/impact. Let me throw that in the studio. That's shaycannon.com/impact. Y'all know I would have ended it with accountability, but some of y'all would have mucked up the spelling. So we just went with what I knew you could spell, impact. Okay. So yes, this week we're talking about impact, but I'm sorry, we're talking about accountability and its impact on your revenue. Because at the end of the day, having a time slot that you have created is great. Creating boundaries to protect that time slot as rules of protection, great. But the be all is going to be execution. And a great thing that helps you to drive execution is going to be accountability, the removal of excuses, the removal of fantasizing that you're going to get it done, knowing you're not doing anything to get it done, right? So accountability. On Monday, which was part one of this series, we talked about the 3 people you need to know as an entrepreneur to create a valuable accountability network. Okay. The 3 people you need to know. We even talked about how to get the best use out of each of those people. So that was part 1. So go back to that if you need to know the 3 people that you need to know as an entrepreneur. Okay. Yesterday, everything starts with you. So yesterday we talked about self-accountability as part 2. Self-accountability that increases your revenue. Then we even discussed not just what the value of it is, but 10 signs that you're not very self-accountable. And then we gave you tips on how to fix each of those 10. Okay. So go back to part 2 if you want to hear about that. Today, what we're going to talk about is now we're bringing in more people, right? So we had our network of people, but now we need closer contacts for our accountability. These people that are going to really have a deeper connection with us to hold us accountable. Some people in our network, they're just not close enough to us and we don't see them enough. We're not invested enough in them for them to hold us accountable from a distance. We need people that are closer to us. So let's talk about accountability partners that boost revenue. It is often the secret sauce that separates stuck entrepreneurs from those stacking revenue. An accountability partner isn't just someone to check in with. It's someone who knows you said you're working toward what you're working toward and refuses to let you hide it or hide from it. Okay. So this relationship isn't about judgment because it's most likely that it is an entrepreneur kind of similarly situated as you, who's going through the same thing. So it's about mutual momentum. You're likely grinding alone, second guessing your next move and letting important tasks slide because, well, no one's holding your feet to the fire. So that dream offer that you mapped out, still unfinished. That email funnel, still sitting in drafts or chat GPT. But the right accountability partner can be like a mirror and a megaphone. Someone who reminds you of what you committed to and won't let you settle for almost. Okay. So it's a game changer because it makes quitting inconvenient and progress inevitable. All right. So that's what's in our blog. But here on the morning show, we give you more. All right. So let me pull out these show notes. All right. I got it. So I have for you as more value 10 strategies to get the most value out of an accountability partner. Okay. 10 strategies to get the most value out of an accountability partner. Now, you got a few of them. You got like 5 that were similar on Monday when we talked about laterals being one of the 3 people you need to know in your accountability network. But laterals could be just people that as you run across them, right? But this accountability partner, again, is going to be that closer connection. So here are 10 strategies to get the most out of that closer accountability partner relationship. Okay. Number one, you need to define clear revenue linked goals up front, right? So, me and my business besties, one thing that we talked about is, yeah, we're going to do this offer, we're going to do this event or whatever, but this is my revenue goal for it. Okay. So, you're going to set expectations from day one by sharing specific outcomes tied to revenue, not just vague productivity and tasks to get done. Okay. So this is going to turn your check-ins into revenue progress reviews, not just status updates. All right. Because we need to be looking at the money. Oh, Dr. Ayana said mucked up. Lord, throw me back to the 80s. That is funny. Yep, mucked up. Okay, number two, you want to set recurring non-negotiable meeting schedules. Okay. And I like weekly, but if you got to push it out to bi-weekly, that's fine. But just know the longer you wait to check in, the more time you're giving yourself to give yourself excuses unchecked. So we want to be consistent. I like weekly, and you want to do a check-in to keep the momentum alive and prevent long gaps that allow you to backslide. Okay, because the longer you backsliding, the more it's going to take for you to get back on track, and we don't want that. So weekly is like perfect. Number three, track progress with a shared dashboard. Okay, I got this for y'all as a strategy, because I'm about to create a shared document for our paid membership, where not only is it that the person that you partner with about your goals can see it as accountability, but now everybody can see what you said you was going to do, and did you achieve it? Are you actually working on it? Okay, so track progress with a shared dashboard. So this is visibility, keeps you honest. You can use a Google sheet, you can use a project management board, kind of like Asana. You can even use Notions, things like that. Well, what you want to do is you want to track the tasks that are tied to revenue, so that you can see it and everybody holding you accountable can see it, and everybody can see what's moving along and what's not. Therefore, somebody can ask you about it. And this is great, especially if you're one of those that can't meet every week. So now in between the meetings, whether they're bi-weekly or monthly, oh, Lord, please don't make it monthly, but for some people, it might have to be. But you can check on this thing way more often than what you're meeting. Okay, so that's the value of a dashboard. Number four, assign each other stretch challenges, right? So push each other beyond the comfort zone by, adding a challenge to what they're doing. So y'all are supposed to be transparent and sharing the goal and the task associated with it. But I want you to challenge the other person and be challenged. If you're not doing enough, say that that's not doing enough. Or if you don't feel like that task is gonna actually get them what they say they want, challenge them on it. Let them challenge you on it, right? So, I've heard people say they're gonna go live once a month. Okay, well, what's your revenue goal? Because really, for us entrepreneurs, it's not until we do something that money comes in. So if you're doing something once a month, that means that's not that much money coming in, because you're not doing enough. And so if I were your accountability partner, I would tell you, hey, if you got this offer going and you're trying to make your revenue goal for this month, going live once this month is not going to be enough. So I'm going to challenge you to go live twice a week, right? So that's a stretch goal. So you can it could be visibility, it could be conversion, like following up and stuff. But what you want to do is you want to stretch each other so that you keep each other growing and not coasting, because that coasting and that contentment is why you're not at your revenue goal. Number five, make the relationship results driven and not vent driven. VENT. Okay. When y'all meet up for your accountability check-in, it's not about your husband and all of them being in the way, and you fussing about your children and all of this, or talking about your TV show. This check-in is revenue focused. Okay, what are you going to do? Where is your revenue right now? Is that more or less than what you made last month? What is your goal? How far away from the goal are you? What are you doing to get to that goal? Okay, what task are you saying? Okay, is that enough? How much time are you going to give yourself for those? That should be the conversation. All right, this is not the time to try to be friends. Accountability is about the focus on the revenue. Now, if that's your friend, schedule other meetings, go to brunch or whatever to be friendly. But this accountability meeting is about accountability. It's not about anything else. Okay. Number 6, celebrate actual revenue milestones, not just task completion. Yes, we can be busy. Yes, we can finally start executing in our business, but the ultimate goal is more money. So let's celebrate more money in this accountability group. Okay. You and this accountability person, your partner. So checking off things is great, but the bank deposits are better. And that's what we want to celebrate when we have an accountability partner around revenue. Okay, that's all we should be celebrating because that's the only goal of this accountability partnership, revenue. Number 7, call out patterns, not just problems. Some stuff are not one-offs, right? When you see somebody tend to have the same problem over and over again as a pattern, you need to call that out. You need to be empowered to call it out because that's a part of the accountability that they need. But on the flip side, you need to allow people to call you out and to show you what your patterns are. Sometimes we're so busy doing stuff, we don't understand what our patterns are. We might feel like this is an isolated event, right? But if somebody else keeps seeing it and they see what we don't see, they should be able to tell us this is the nature of this relationship. All right. Number 8, use deadlines with external consequences. Deadlines with external consequences. So tie completion of your revenue task to visible accountability. Like you can, if you promise to launch something by a certain day and you don't, tell them to put that out there visibly for their tribe, for their membership, for their community, so that public pressure starts to raise the stakes of you meeting this deadline. Right? Because what we know is if we keep saying we're going to do something and we don't do it, we immediately start erasing trust. Immediately. Because now you wishy-washy. You're undependable. Or what is it? It is undependable. Independable is undependable, I think. But you're not dependable. How about that one? So that putting that pressure on yourself helps you to meet these deadlines because it has an external consequence. Irreliable. You're not helping me at all, Dr. Dr. Ayana. All right. Number 9, rotate who leads the check-ins, right? I'm a natural leader. I find that any group that I'm in, I tend to end up being the leader. Some of it is my OCD because I can't stand for stuff to be disorganized. But some of it is just that I'm just a leader. And when I see something needs to be done, I do it. But if it's just you and one other person, y'all can take turns leading the check-ins, leading, and just don't make it the same person the whole time. Okay. Some people don't appreciate having to be the one to make sure that you're going to show up, to be the one to make sure that you coming in, to be the one to say, oh, okay, you said, let me remind you what you said you were going to do. It was this, and that. You should know what you was going to do. And y'all should be checking each other. So who hosts the meeting? Who leads it? Let's take turns. Okay. Number 10, end each session with one high impact task. Okay. So we're not trying to do it all, but at the end of every session, what we want to do is start choosing one must move task that's tied to our revenue onto our list, right? So what is the list and what is going to get us the most money the fastest? That's high impact for this money generating accountability. And that's going to be the one we end and say, hey, that's what you need to do before we get back together and meet again for our check-in. All right, cool. Now I have our question. So let me grab it and put it in studio and on YouTube. There it is. So our question of the day: what has been your experience with accountability partnerships in the past? And what strategies from today can you apply to make your future experience more valuable for your revenue goals? Okay, so that's the question. I'm going to recap our 10 strategies, and then we're going to start with Dr. Ayana with our question of the day. So let me go back through these 10 strategies really quickly without all the extra. So these are 10 strategies to get the most value out of having an accountability partner relationship. Number 1, define clear revenue linked goals up front. Number 2, set a recurring non-negotiable meeting schedule. Number 3, track progress through a shared dashboard. Number 4, assign each other stretch challenges. Number 5, make the relationship results driven, not vent driven or friendship driven. Okay. Number 6, celebrate actual revenue milestones, not just task completion or anything else. This accountability partnership is about generating revenue, so that's what we celebrate, and that's all we celebrate. Number 7, call out patterns, not just problems. Okay. So, yes, if there are problems that you see, say something. But when you see the same problem tend to come up, say something. That's a pattern. Number 8, use deadlines with external consequences. Okay. We can't keep missing these deadlines. You can't keep putting stuff off. So, what is the consequence? Number 9, rotate who leads the check-ins so that there's not a burden on just one of you. Okay. Number 10, end each session with one high impact task that needs to be completed by the next time that you meet. All right. Now, those were the 10 strategies. So let's start with Dr. Ayana. Dr. Ayana, what has been your experience with accountability partnerships in the past, and what strategies from today can you apply to make future experiences more valuable for your revenue goals?
Hey, good morning, everyone. I really like this topic. Everything as we do for the most part, it kind of is rooted in that disc personality concept. And one of my lateral partners is a shark, or the D in the disc, and I am a whale. Which is the S in the disc. And so we have opposite personalities, and he would always, whenever we would talk and kind of keep each other accountable, he's always driving me to the money, whereas I am more warmth oriented. So so I'm like, oh, here he goes again. He's annoying me with this drive to the money. Why do you have to be so money, money, money all the time? But in that has been my experience with him in his style of keeping me accountable in our businesses. We're both in business, in similar businesses. So that's been an experience that has been very helpful, and I kind of it helps me to keeping his style in mind and keeping his pressure in mind does drive me even in between when we're not in contact, because I know the next time I talk to him, he's gonna come back again. Where's the money? Where's the money? And so I gotta have an answer for him, or he's gonna shame me, but in a loving way. So, in terms of what would be valuable, all of these are cool. I love all of these, but my favorites are the ones that are kind of gamifying. I love number 4, assigning each other to stretch challenges. That sounds like a lot of fun. Of course, again, I like the social part. So, celebrating revenue milestones, number 6. Look, I'm always for a good celebration, a good get together. So I will blow that up. And then
Yeah.
also number 10, ending each session with a high impact task. I think that would be great for, again, we're going to kind of gamify and try to see who gets to the finish line first. So
I love that. I
thank
love
you.
it. Kimberly said, unfortunately, I'm a whale and dolphin. I don't know nothing about these animals. I just know that my disc assessment is disproportionately D. So my look, I got a big D. I swing a big D.
My G.
Is disproportionately. I am truly one of those born leaders. Like I actually just cannot even help it. And so, when the person did my disc assessment and she was telling me where my opportunities were, or that was her nice way of saying the shit you need to fix. I was looking at her like, yeah, I'm probably fixing none of that. But okay, thank you. I appreciate you. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's cool, but I haven't heard the animal stuff. I think the lady that did mine, um, I think she did what is it? Flight analogies, like a pilot and a stewardess and that type of thing. She had those type of analogies for each one of the letters. Um, all right, let's go to Keith. Keith, are you coming off the mic or are you gonna use the chat? I think you're gonna use the chat. So we're gonna give you time to use chat. We'll go to Dr. Tachi. Welcome back, Dr. Tachi. So what has been your experience with accountability partnerships in the past, and what strategies can you apply from today to make future experiences more valuable to your revenue goals specifically, Dr. Tachi?
So I honestly have not had a accountability partner relationship, honestly,
Mhm.
before this.
Okay. Love it.
So
Love it.
yes, there are no past experiences to talk about per se. Um, I, which is why being in the membership is actually very helpful because it gives
Mhm.
me um, points that I need to keep in mind and milestone checkers and things like that. So I,
Yeah.
yes, that's very helpful. So I
Uh,
don't know if that's the answer to your question, but
Um, well, I'm gonna switch up the second part of the question, right? Which one of the strategies from today do you feel like will have a greater impact on the accountability partnerships you've recently started?
um, so I'm looking at what I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know that I have an ad because everything that you're talking about are the things you do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's,
I can
I'm
understand that.
sorry to
I
be
think
such a disappointment, Shay, but
it's not. It is not. Um, because we're gonna get into that accountability stuff more when it comes to the membership, and I'm gonna talk to y'all about that. I grabbed my notebook because I was trying to see what did that lady say that did my disc assessment, because I did put it in my notebook, but I think this is the wrong notebook. So with that in mind, I give up just that quick. Because Kimberly put on here that shark business, urchin, detail oriented, whale, empathy, caring was dolphin, party girl is to have equal of each. Yeah, it probably ain't even your goal is probably not to have an equal of each. Your goal is probably going to be, Kimberly, to be able to summon the one you need the most in the moment to get to where you're trying to go. Because there is a need for all of them. It's just not going to be all of them all the time, or all of them equally all the time, or any one of them to be the most all the time. So yeah, cool beans. All right, let's go to Dr. LaFera. Um, Dr. LaFera, what has been your experience with accountability partnerships in the past, and what strategies can you apply to make your future experience more valuable to your revenue goals?
I'll say that I have had accountability groups before. They have not worked for me because, like, um, I would be the one showing up like every week. And then I just got tired of not, having it be consistent. So, um, I kind of slacked off, and then they slacked off. But like, we didn't really talk about revenue. So, and this was in a paid group. So,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't really I don't have great experiences with accountability groups, and then I don't always like the meeting times, but like I would
Mhm.
make the meetings, and if I couldn't, like I would send like an email
Mhm.
saying like, okay, this is what I did this week, that I said I was gonna do last week, that type of stuff. So I just have to kind of revamp my accountability stuff. The other accountability thing that I've had is like your group, and it's good. Like you do, I feel guilty when I don't do the 14 day sprint. Um, so um, yeah, that's my experience.
Cool beans. And I understand that. That's why, so these accountability partnerships, right? This is why you may have more than one accountability partner, because they're holding you accountable for different things. Like some of you are used to having accountability partners for things like a weight loss, right? Weight loss journey. You might have that friend that you walk with, or excuse me, y'all are out here counting points and stuff together. That's a form of accountability. So you could have more than one kind of accountability partner. But what we're talking about this week is you need one specifically for this revenue. Because y'all know we're talking about getting to your first six figures and beyond. That's revenue driven. And so, all of these other things are great, but if we're not making money in our business, then what are we doing? So this accountability is specific to revenue. And that's what I want y'all to start looking at. And it doesn't mean that this is the only accountability partner you should have, or that you should get rid of any that you currently have. It means we need one for revenue, whether that is transitioning somebody that's already an accountability partner in another way into introducing revenue, or is it just go find somebody that's specifically revenue. So
I
who
do
is?
have a question though.
Yeah, please.
So like if you are in an accountability group with different people, like in different industries, and say like y'all do different things, but like some of the stuff that you do, is something that like each other kind of like uses in their business. I would think that that's like great. Um, but then like when your partners don't like, if they see that if you're continuing to hit like a brick wall, and they kind of withhold information or whatever, or suggestions, based off of what their expertise is, like that's the other thing. It's like, okay, so why am I in this group? Because like you see me not meeting this goal like that I told you I was doing, and you actually have expertise in what I'm trying to do. So it's not like I asked you to coach me or anything. So it's like, again, why am I in this group? So that's how I feel like, and that also encourages me not to attend certain stuff because, like, you know, like I got expertise too, and like people always ask me for stuff, and I don't mind telling them where they're messing up at.
Yeah. Well, so what I will say is that it is coaching and not accountability. And so it just depends on what are the rules of engagement for your accountability relationship. You see what I'm saying? Because I have somebody that holds me accountable. They're not helping me to do nothing. I'm telling them what I say I'm gonna do, and then they're holding me accountable for doing what I said I was gonna do. Right. So that's accountability. Now if I say, I've tried this and I don't, I can't get unstuck, I don't know what to do or whatever, I might have to go to somebody else to coach me through it. And then I get the task to get through it. And then I tell my accountability partner, okay, so I had a problem with this. This is what I was told to do. So this is how I'm going to do it. Hold me accountable to do it. So if you want an accountability partner that is also going to give you some of their expertise, some of their experience, some of their, helping you to overcome obstacles, you need to say that from the beginning. Right. So my business besties, we do both. Right. So we say, what is your priority goal? What are you doing today? Do you have any obstacles that we can help you with? You know what I'm saying? So we are committed to both. Every Monday through it's Tuesday through Thursday now at 10 a.m. We're committed to both. But if people come in for accountability only, and then you're asking them about stuff they know, that might not be why they're there. And they might be tired of people asking them. So you just got to define and be clear about what that relationship is from the beginning, and find somebody that's aligned. So if you're a generous person, you want to align with another generous person. So if you're a person that's very helpful, you want to align with another person that's also very helpful, instead of it being a one-way thing where, you hear somebody, they didn't even ask you. You just heard they have a problem. You know the answer, so you volunteered the answer. But then when they hear you got a problem, or when you directly ask for help, they ain't got nothing to say. That's a misalignment. You know what I'm saying? So just from the beginning, be clear what that relationship is, and then find people that are aligned that's going to hold their end of the relationship. That's what I would say, Dr. Farah, because I have seen both happen. And it doesn't feel good to the person that feels like they're always giving and other people aren't giving, when it's clear that you could be giving more. So just keep that in mind. All right, Dr. Ayana.
I just want to chime in and make a comment regarding the topic that Dr. LaFarrakhan brought up. Dr. lexicon is a whale. She's definitely big time whale. And so the person that she's referring to is no doubt a shark. And so if indeed the person seems to be getting fatigued with having like coaching questions, then make sure that it's obvious that you're approaching them with an offer as well. They may not, like Shay said, may not be aware that you want a little bit of coaching from them. But once you are aware that that's actually what you want, as opposed to mentoring, or in addition to, I mean, what is this thing we're talking about right now? Lateral accountability. If you want a combination of lateral in addition to coaching, just let them know that you have something that you would like to offer them as well. And that simply means making sure that you know them and where their gaps might be. So you might still be able to get what you want from this person that you admire, if you can fill a gap for them as well.
Yeah. And just and again, there is such a thing as misalignments, because there are people that they don't care about you making it clear, they're just not going to do it. So we're misaligned. I'm not going to allow you to benefit from me, and I can't fully benefit from you. So this partnership is not working for us both, and so I'm going to end it. Period. Kimberly, I saw you sitting still. You want to come off the mic and answer the question?
Sure.
Okay. So what has been your experience with accountability partnerships in the past, and what strategies can you apply from today to make your future experience more valuable, specifically for your revenue goals?
So I've been in accountability groups in the past as well, and as well as paid groups. And like Dr. LaFera said, would show up and and everything. And after a while, I kind of got discouraged from being in the group. So I never even tried doing it again.
Yeah.
What was the second part of your question? I'm sorry.
Which one of the strategies today will make your future partnerships more revenue driven?
I have to be honest. I don't remember which.
Well, you were driving, so that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
No problem. Going back to Keith. Keith said number 3, which is track progress with a shared dashboard. Yeah, that works wonders, because you can, some of us be going out feeling. You'd be like, I feel like she keeps saying that same thing and not doing it. But then you're so busy in your life, you don't know for sure. If y'all have a shared dashboard, then the answer to that question is right there. Yeah, you have yet to fulfill this task. Why we keep talking about this same task? So let me hold you accountable that you've been holding on to this task for too long, and dashboards really help you with that. So yes, Keith, get you a dashboard with your accountability partner. All right. So far, when we're talking about accountability, we've talked about the 3 people you need to have in your basic accountability network. We talked about self-accountability, and today we've talked about accountability partners. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about accountability leaders. Okay. And so do y'all have any questions about what we've talked about thus far? Any value adds or any aha moments? Dr. Tachi.
I have a question about the dashboard. Is there a particular one you like or suggest, or does it not matter?
So it depends on what is it that you have committed to with your partner, right? And so that's what you want to put in a dashboard form, so that y'all can go back and look side by side. You know what I'm saying? This is what you said you were going to do. Did you complete it? Yes or no? Right. So how we run our 14-day sprint is almost like, when we decide what goals we're going to sprint on, we already have that check-in of when did we say we're gonna do it? Did we get it done? Are we gonna carry it over? So just think of, you and your partner can decide what's on your dashboard, but you're in the paid membership, so you will actually get to see a dashboard when I introduce y'all to the accountability dashboard that's coming up.
Oh, okay. But I meant platform-wise.
Excuse me. So you can use Google Sheets. You can use, so you want it to be something that you guys can interact with on the same document, right? This is where the Google products come in very well. So it could be a Google Doc, it could be a Google Sheet. And so you and that person, and when I say accountability partners, it could be 2 people or it could be 3 people. I wouldn't really go past 4. I think 3 really should be the limit. Because then you get into accountability group, which has a way different dynamic than just a accountability partner. But you all can be on the same document and be filling out the different things, and you all can see it. It's one document that you all are sharing and adding thoughts to, and everybody can see everything. Does that make sense, Dr. Taji?
It does. Thank you.
Yeah. So if it were something that was just a static sheet, it would be more like a leaderboard than a dashboard, you know what I'm saying, than an interactive dashboard. So we kind of we want something that is interactive, that we all see, we all can contribute to, and all of that. So that's where I like the Google products, Google Docs or Google Sheets. All right. Or a project management board where you can assign people different stuff and you create the board. That's great too. Dr. Ayana, you had something else?
I wanted to make mention of a value add. Yesterday, you introduced the concept of an accountability network. And prior to yesterday, I hadn't really ever given a formal title to some of my accountability partners. But so I think that drawing into focus the categories that these people in our lives really actually hold makes the relationship so much more valuable, because then you really focus on maximizing the relationship. And that is so very important. And when I started thinking about this yesterday, I started really realizing some of the awesome, beautiful accountability partners that I have. And I really think, as we discussed the lack of mentees that a lot of us have, it occurred to me even more so last night that even a fly-by-night mentee or some younger person in particular that we can inspire, I think is really, really important. I was doing my evening walk yesterday and I just happened to run into this 19-year-old guy who was trying to sell. And he tried to sell me and I ended up selling him. And as we were talking, he was wowed and he was inspired. And he says, I really like to take some of the concepts of what you do and implement them in my life and this, that, and the other. And so, there's always younger people who need what we have, and we are now the elders who will lead the way. And so this whole concept of mentee, we have a responsibility as we build our own dreams and lives. We also have a responsibility to reach back. So I just think it was so valuable for you to bring this idea of these partnerships into focus so that we can really maximize them. Thank you for this topic.
No problem. And I want to remind you guys that just because you have mentees and you're teaching them something from your experience does not mean that they don't have value and can't teach you something. So those 3 people that you need to know as an entrepreneur, when people tell me certain issues they're having, I can tell how their network is lopsided. Right. So if you come to me and you say, hey, we got all this newfangled AI stuff and, all this tech stuff, and I just don't even know where to start with some of that stuff, I can tell you don't have enough mentees bringing fresh stuff to you. Right. Because they're growing up on this stuff. It's nothing to them. And so that could be their value add for you. When you come to me and you say, I got a coach, but I feel like, nothing, what they say don't resonate. I don't feel understood. I don't feel like they know the point I'm at. They just know the point they are. And I feel like that there is a disconnect. Well, that lets me know you're not talking to enough laterals, people who are similarly situated, right? You wouldn't be so frustrated if you were talking to people that were on your level also. When you say, hey, kind of like Dr. LaFera said, I'm over here trying to, you've been where I'm at. I know you know the answer, but you're not helping me. So I need help with some of this stuff. And I know it's not hard. I just don't know what I'm missing. Well, then you're missing some mentors. You see what I'm saying? So that's why if you are intentional about making sure all 3 of these type of people are in your network, then you are eliminating some of these problems. I habitually am missing mentors, right? And so I have to look into what rooms do I need to be going into that I have more mentors that resonate for me. I mean, I keep a mentee, you know what I'm saying? I have so I have more mentees. It's almost like a funnel. It's more mentees at the top, and then it's more laterals than mentors, but less laterals than mentees. And then you get to mentors, and that's a very, very small amount. And then I usually need different types of mentors, right? So yeah, that's why I really broke that formula down of this is how you create a network that is going to help you increase your net worth, right? You got to have these different types of people in it that bring various types of value to you that then increases your net worth. So yeah, no problem, Dr. Ayana. That was great. Anybody else with a question, value add, or aha moment from what we've talked about so far when it comes to accountability that helps you to increase your revenue specifically? All righty, no problem. So these strategies and quick tips are nice. However, in our paid membership, along with the systems and the tools, we have a self-led accountability partner program where you get to pick your own partner. I give you a little structure on how to lead your accountability check-in meetings. It is a part of our 14-day goal sprint. It is a part of our goals planner. You can bring in an accountability partner, and then there's structure that you can follow. But it's going to get very interesting starting next month with the rewards that I'm creating to inspire partners. And some of that is going to be the introduction of an accountability dashboard as one thing, like I spoke to Dr. Tachi about. All right. So join us at shaycannon.com/membership. This is the last week before the price goes up from $97 a month to at least $147 a month. But y'all know I keep throwing stuff in there, so it can very easily go to $197 next month. So that's what you don't want. All right. Now, I want to tell y'all we haven't had a workshop in a while, right? And so yesterday, the day before, I told you to save the date. Well, it's ready, it's ready, it's ready. Okay, so I want you to save the date still because the Revenue Reset Summer Boot Camp is coming. Why is this thing not letting me pull this over so I can see? Okay, there it is. Okay, thank you. I was wondering. Okay, so save the date for the Revenue Reset Summer Boot Camp. Jumpstart your path to cash intensive. It will be 4 hours on a Saturday, July the 19th. But let me tell you how you don't want to wait to confirm your spot, okay? So let me scroll on down here and let y'all look at this part right here, okay? Because I have disappearing bonuses associated with this event. Because what's happening is you want to be able to get all the bonuses for no additional investment. You want to get the super bonus. You want to get the regular bonuses, and you want to be able to apply your various coupon codes, okay? Like the one I have already placed in the free mastermind group that's going to save you $200 off of this event, and the one I placed in the paid membership group where you're going to want to save $250. So go to shaycannon.com/summer and get all of the details here about what is going on with this Revenue Reset Summer Boot Camp. But if you know you're not making the money in your business or you're not making it consistently, it is time for a revenue reset. And you don't want to wait to invest in the knowledge that I'm about to give y'all about how to jumpstart this revenue. And we're doing it from a structural point of view. Y'all know I'm an operations person, so we're going to dig in. Just like when I go into my 6- and 7-figure CEO clients' businesses and I listen to the problems that they say they have, I'm going to teach you the same way that I go in and how I audit their structure and what are the things that I put in place, okay? You don't want to miss this. Y'all know I get paid big money for this thing here. So shaycannon.com/summer. You don't want to miss it. We need to jumpstart your revenue. So go and check out all of the details. You got some testimonials on here, and y'all know these are real screenshots. I don't do the just putting words up there and saying somebody said. I need y'all to see that people are really saying these things about your girl. I want you to figure out what is going to be what you walk away with, what are going to be the feelings you're going to be able to have because of the transformation that you have in your business, all of that. Go to shaycannon.com/summer. And again, you do not want to wait. Some of y'all be last minute trying to pay the day of, right before. You're going to lose out a lot and for the same amount of money. So go and get it. All right. Cool. Coming up tomorrow, Thursday, we're having our movie club night. I'm putting the details in the group today. I have picked the movie. It is from YouTube. It is specific to marketing. So I'm gonna want you to watch this movie before 7 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow night and gather with me at 7 p.m. so we can discuss all of the business nuggets that you were able to pull. It is a documentary specifically about sales and marketing. So this is the middle of the year. I am really focusing on mindset here on the morning show. And this workshop is going to unclog and unstick your revenue for the rest of the year. And then this movies, I want to pick movies that's going to help you to get your marketing and your sales correct for the rest of the year. Okay. So next week is my quarterly vacation and the 4th of July holiday. So we're not broadcasting live. We'll pick back up on Monday, July the 7th. Okay. Well, this has been the Her First Six Figure Morning Show, which is more of an interactive and coaching training experience as part of our free business mastermind group that positions Black and brown female online service-based entrepreneurs to generate your first six figures by learning how to make the money and create time freedom. Find out more about me, your host, plus links to resources like how to join that highly valuable free business mastermind group and how to get the show notes from today and recent past shows in the description below. All right. Now, if you haven't already, you got value. Give us a thumbs up and like this episode. Also, so that you don't miss anything, not a thing, I want you to subscribe to the channel. This is one video in a 4-video series. So check out the other videos, all right? And with that, the studio is closing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you right back here